Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth. Why? For the first heaven and the first earth had passed away, and there was no longer any sea. I saw the holy city, the new Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God, prepared as a bride, beautifully dressed for her husband. And I heard a loud voice from the throne saying, now the dwelling of God is with men. Now notice this, and he will live with them, and they will be his people, and God himself will be with them and be their God. You will have a new kind of relationship. He'll be with you. You'll see him face to face. In fact, he says that in chapter 22 a little bit later. And the Bible says that when you see God face to face, you'll be transformed and like him. The theologians call it the beatific vision. You'll never have any more days where, when you get a little prompting and you think, I think God might want me to do this, or you have a little nudge and you think, well, maybe I ought to do this, or you sort of struggle about the will of God in this relationship or this work. That'll be done. You will always know 100% of the time the will of God because you will be with him. You know that sense you have at times where God feels distant? There'll be no relational distance, no spatial distance. God will come down. You are the object of his affection. You will be his people and he will be your God and he will be with you. And there'll be a connection at a level far better and far different than an occasional visit and walking in the cool of the garden. God says, I gave my son for you. I love you. I've prepared this place for you. You are the pinnacle of my creation, and I want legitimate, open, deep, intimate love relationship. This new earth, this physical place with this new heaven that has come down upon this new earth will be first and foremost with a new kind of relationship with God. The second thing that will happen is you're going to have a new kind of relationship with sin. You might even write the word your past. I really struggled when I thought about what word to put in here because you're going to have a whole different relationship with your past. But what he's going to talk about is the big difference with your past is all the consequences of sin and evil, not just in your life, but of all mankind are going to be removed. Follow along and look at verses 4 and 5. He will wipe away every tear from their eyes. There'll be no more death or mourning or crying or pain, for the old order of things has passed away. Then he who is seated on the throne said, I'm making everything new. And then for emphasis, then he said, write this down, for these words are trustworthy and true. The impact, your relationship to sin. You know what this means? No abuse. No regrets. No betrayal. No divorces. No failure. No disappointments. Never again will you experience that emotion that's so painful of rejection. No more greed or murder. Can you imagine? No more addictions. Addictions to pleasing people or to food or to sex or anything. No more accidents, no more pressure, no more prejudice. No more racism, no more poverty. No more injustice. No one will ever be neglected again. It's gone. It's all gone forever. No more, are you ready for this? No more death. No more temptation. No more fear. No more shame. You will have a new kind of relationship with God, and it's different and infinitely better because you're going to have a new relationship with the sin that caused the chaos in your heart, in your life, in your relationships, and what people did upon this earth to one another. Behold, I make all things new.